have Parkinson's. Today is Try It Thursday, and I'm going to try something that I have not done successfully in the past. I did try it once. My mom did it all the time. Lots of people do it, and we love it, but I can't do it myself. Every time I do it, I turn it into strawberry syrup. I'm going to make freezer jam. And like I said, mine is strawberry syrup every time. So I'm trying something new. I'm trying a new type of pectin. And Mom always said to me it was because there was so much sugar in the freezer jam. Well, sugar is not good for us to have in our diets as much as we have. I'm not going to use Splenda. I'm not going to use a fake sugar. I am going to use real sugar, but it's far reduced. Now, normally that's what makes mine turn into syrup instead of jam. But this new pectin, this is called Bernardin Freezer Jam Pectin, and this is less than half the sugar of freezer jams with regular pectin. So that's the type of pectin that I'm going to use. And it says to start with crushed berries. Now, I did check, could you use frozen berries? Yes, you can use frozen berries, but you have to mash them first. So I have thawed my berries out. I'm not good with this machine. I can't keep it running very good because my hands slip off of it, but I'm going to try to crush these berries. If this doesn't work, then I'm going to have to bring out a little blender and do it in a bunch of batches. So let's try. Doesn't sound very healthy, does it? But it is working. Actually, it's working quite good once I get it started, but my fingers don't stay on the button. That's one of the things when you have Parkinson's, it's hard to control some of your hand movements. My meds have kicked in. They're starting to work, but they're not full force yet. So we're just gonna do our best. Oh, good heavens! I almost made a mess. Would that be something new? No. Bill's just laughing at me because he knows that I tried to make homemade ranch dressing last night, and I did it, and I splattered ranch everywhere. I wanted to make sure this machine was working because I hadn't used it in a while. Okay, now it's going. The trick is don't hold it on the bottom and don't take it off above the top. So you got to sort of control it a little bit. But I'm. Okay, I think that's pretty good. How's your finger doing? Oh, it's looking pretty good. It's a bit raggedy on the edges. Phil sliced himself up pretty good last night. Oh, what is it? I said I had to stir for 3 minutes. I'm going to use this machine, so I'm not sure how long it'll be. But I have to wait till I get the pectin in. So I'm going to just put the sugar in first, and then no, I'm going to stir it like it says, but I'm going to put the sugar in with this machine. Just because I want the sugar to get really mixed up. I mean, so far pretty easy, hey? Mash your stuff. Put your sugar in. Oh, that was 1.5 cups of sugar. And then I'm supposed to have 1 package of this pectin. It's just a powder. There's liquid and all different kinds of it. There's ones for if you use artificial sugar and all the rest of it. But this one's specifically for freezer jam. So let's give it a try. And so it was 4 cups of mashed berries. You see, I do have trouble with controlling my hands. all under the surface so that I can... Okay, I think that's pretty much mixed in, so now I'm going to just give it a little bit of a stir and see how that does. Freezer jam is really good. If you've never tried freezer jam before, it is sort of like a... I'm going to put this down there like that. It sort of tastes more like fresh berries than the regular jam. Regular jam is a more processed thing because you're cooking it. Now this, they say that you can... That is really a nice mixture. You see how lovely that is? Anyway, they say that you can, I'm going to read, refrigerate for 3 weeks, put in the deep freeze for 1 year, or enjoy it straight away. Well, within the half hour of jarring it, because it has to thicken. So, oh, I got lumps of that pectin stuff that didn't get mixed in, so let's mash it against there. We'll put one more zip around with that machine just before we end. So that way I'll have sure that it's, because if you don't get it all mixed in, well, that's a big berry. If you don't get it all mixed in, then of course it's not going to evenly thicken. Oh, I think those aren't really pectin pieces. I think those are just little pieces of berry. And that's okay because it's not jelly, it is jam, and jam has pieces of berry and stuff in it. So, but if this turns out, I will be so tickled because, like I said, we've had plenty of strawberry syrup. So they say this is going to do me 5 jars. If it does me 5 jars, then I'm going to put 1 in the refrigerator, 2 in the freezer, and I'm going to give 1 to Claudine and 1 to Ashley. So that's the plan, but I won't be giving it away if it's syrup. We'll just be having a lot of strawberry milk. Oh my goodness. So how's everybody having a good day? I haven't even had my coffee yet this morning. I just decided that I wanted to do this first thing. I have to go to the lab and do, is it an x-ray or ultrasound or something? I don't know. I have to do something. So I'm going to do it at 1 o'clock, and I thought I'd like to get the jam done ahead of that, so that's the reason for starting it first thing in the morning. Bill gave his finger a good whack yesterday, had blood all over my kitchen. So, you just put a new Band-Aid on?
Trying to.
Yeah.
I don't know how to work these ones.
Which ones is that?
I'm scared.
Yeah, I don't know how to do those either. It just must operate the same way as the other ones. I just don't know which side goes up. Okay. I think that's good. Now, let me just, you know what? Just have a little taste. Not bad. All right, now it says mix for things. Okay, ladle in, leaving a ½ inch of space. I've got a very small little ladle here, but I figured it'd be easier for me to handle that than getting it all over the lids. That would be a mess and a half, but I'm not very good with this sort of stuff. And I, of course, I'm not a food canner, so therefore I don't have like one of those nice rings that you can use. I don't have that, and I didn't think it would go through a funnel very good because it's such a small opening. And this is some chunks and stuff. But I'll just wipe the edges and we'll be fine. And like I said, it's going into the freezer, and then when you want to use it, you bring it up and put it in the... Okay, I'm going to go that far. That's where I'm going to stop. Now, let's just give that rim a wipe, like that, and take the lid. And of course your jars are all nice and clean. Okay, that's 1. We'll see how accurate they were in saying that there's going to be 5. It looks like that's about what's in the pot, but I'm never sure. there's something that says spring when you're doing something with strawberries. Just sort of seems like spring. Now, some of these, if you remember when we did the strawberry experiment, there was some that went into the freezer. So these are some of those, and then some frozen berries that we had from the store. So there is some actual fresh berries that's in here as well. So that's always good. Oh, dear me. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Now, if you were processing this as with a cooked liquid, you would have to be very, very careful that your jars and lids didn't get bacteria in there. When it's going into the freezer, you don't have to be as careful, but you still want to make sure that it's a nice, clean surface. And it would be nice if I could screw that on, but... Okay, let's try a different lid. I don't think that one's working right for me. There, that one's better. All right. Now, I should move this so we can see those. Where would you see this? Where would you see those if I put them there? 1, 2. All right. Just that edge cleaned off.
Got it.
Got it on?
Yeah.
Good. Bill offered me a coffee earlier, and I of course said no, I wasn't ready for my coffee yet. But I'm going to make one after I've had this. But I've been thirsty as all get out, so I think that coffee is not what I want. My mom used to always say that she'd be dying of thirst, and she'd go, "Oh, can we just stop at McDonald's to have a coffee?" She said, and I'd say, "Oh, a coffee when you're thirsty? That's not what you want." It is what she wanted. She wanted a coffee. She always said it quenched her thirst. I don't see that myself, but she does, or did. Okay. I might even get more than 5. I'm not sure. If I do, I have to go get another jar, so I won't make you sit there and watch me ladle into another jar, but I will come back after I've got it all done, though, and we have to let it sit for half an hour before we can test it, and then I will let you know whether it has thickened up or not, because they say that it thickens up over the half hour. So it says to leave about a 1/2 inch of space at the top, so that's about what I've got there. And the reason we're doing that is for the expansion in the freezer. You see, you have to leave enough so that the expansion can happen when it freezes. Well, I'm impressed if I get more than 5 even. I think it depends on like how well your berries mash down. Mine went really well. Yep, I got enough for 1 more jar. We'll get 6 out of it. Okay, I'm going to put this glass lid on. I'm going to go get myself another jar, and then we're going to let it sit for half an hour, and then I'm going to come back and show you. No, I have to wash it and everything. All right, so I'm going to just put you on pause. I'm going to go and take care of that. I'll be back. And we're back. Bill's going to help me with this taste test.
I'm gonna bring the chair over.
Oh, okay. He's going to bring a chair over. So we're just going to open this one here. So we got 6 jars out of that stuff. Let's just see how we're doing for the gelling. I'd say we're doing pretty good. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit on cracker. Can you get in there? I'll move over.
Ouch.
There we go. Try that. I don't have a hold of it. It's going to fall.
Not
Sorry,
anymore.
sorry, I didn't have a hold of it. Oh dear. I think I'm just going to try mine actually just on the spoon. What do you think? No more? I'll just turn the spoon around. Don't want to put it in the jar when I've got my lips on the thing. That's a strange way for me to put it on. There you go. It's very good.
Yes.
It's very good. It will be even better when it's in the fridge and cold. And so therefore this one that we have opened here is going into my refrigerator. 3 of them are going into the freezer, and 2 are going, one to Ashley and one to Cluddy. Okay, see y'all tomorrow.
Santa Claus is going to that.
That'll be in our freezer. My label has a Santa Claus on it. I'm a little out of date. Okay, we'll see y'all tomorrow.